This is part 5 in New Word. One of the things I see here in the future, I don't know why this isn't actually being done now, is that education amongst the youth should be done by impartation and by spiritual experience. But people have been brainwashing to think that getting things through a spiritual witness is hocus pocus and emotionalism and like. Well, it can be, and also the effects of response to it can be emotional too. I mean, I only know from personal experience when I first started having things happening to me, in my late teens, early 20s, when I first had this major dream, which I don't know if it was really a dream. I think I was physically taken out of here. I saw some things with that. Because my father woke up that night when I was taken by the angel, and he said he looked for me everywhere in the house, so can't say it was an astral projection, Of course, I saw myself going up to the roof of the house when the angel got me, and everything. Of course, we can argue all day long whether it was an angel or not, but it definitely wasn't something that we're used to seeing in this world, at least at this point in time. So, the spirit can tell you ahead of time whether something is right or not. So you can tell you whether or not someone's lying or not. It can tell you who committed the murder, The spirit can speed up things, for people to know. And maybe the reason why more people aren't using it, or the governments are not using it, is because I figure they can go through a back door, I understand they have a lot of things in black ops and all that stuff. They're trying to duplicate the spiritual awareness thing with that, and maybe they'll get it. They'll probably get something going in that regard. But whether or not they get it or not, what gets it for them and for anybody else is persistence. So if they persist in the soul, which is also the same as persisting in the flesh, then they'll get a desired result with that, Or if you're a spiritual person, you're getting the spirit, you still have to persist in the spirit. You can accomplish way more in the spirit than you can ever accomplish in the flesh with that. But if those in the spirit are not going to carry forth the spirit, then they're going to let those who are in the soul win out over them, It's just like in today's world with them. You have a problem in the world, there's problems with wars and destruction and earthquakes and whatnot. You only have you, who's the spiritual person, look at in the mirror and say whether it's your fault. And of course, now there are a few of you that may really be seeking God or at least walking in the path of consciousness. Or maybe righteousness. Righteousness just means you're walking in the will of God for your life, which usually includes the helping of others. That's what it means by seek the first kingdom of God and His righteousness. Kingdom of God refers to a group of people. As you benefit others, you'll benefit. You'll also find out what the will of God is for you in relationship to those other people, or in relation to people in general with that. So, in some ways, the governments or the governments, plural, is doing things underhanded to subdue people, and still in all, they still fit somewhat on the relative model. And it always seems that somehow, down through time or not, that the non-religious person, per se, if you want to call it that, is the one that's running the show, whereas the religious person is supposed to know God and all this bullshit with that doesn't seem to really be in play. You're not self-actualized, You're not. When are you going to get to that position where you say, "Command ye me" with that, And you really have a relationship, Where right now I can say, "Hey, fuck God," "Oh no, we can't do that because the whole wrath of God will come down upon you." That's one thing I found out about when I was contacted by, or it contacted me, or I contacted him, whichever supreme entity. I asked some questions about atheists with that. Are you bothered by atheists with that? So not in the least with us. So I can make a separate world for them, and they can exist by themselves, or they can exist for others, or whatever, you know. So there's complete tolerance from the Supreme Entity. All this other stuff about Jesus said that and Krishna said this or that, those are people's interpretations with that. These highly developed entities like Jesus, Krishna, Buddha, and whoever, if you at least know from your history, I'm sure they didn't say any of that stuff. It's just how it got interpreted by the followers that followed afterwards with that. So education, the most part, can be accomplished through impartation. That doesn't mean that because it's impartation, that means that we're going to sit around and play golf all day long. It won't necessarily be something like that. Not that can't play golf or can't have any fun, whatever. You have to learn how to be focused because it's a tool. You still have to be able to exercise your mind, exercise your spirit. I mean, exercising your spirit, even in this density here, in this realm here, is very, very, very exhausting, very time-consuming, and it requires a lot of energy. Sure, you accomplish a lot more, a lot quicker, but you also can't use it as often with them because it's very time-consuming. It takes all the energy in the world to focus in, and so on, maybe there's different ways of achieving longevity in that thing, and maybe this practice of the yogis has some merit with that, in that regard. I don't know as yet that's true or not. I'm not discounting it, but I'm not necessarily applauding it just yet because I don't know. Somebody else knows, and they say it, and I get a witness on it that I can respond in kind spiritually with that. So when somebody else gets something from God, I see it, and I get a witness on it, and while they're talking about it, he or she is talking about it, then I also partake of it right there on the spot. And that's the way it should be with people listening to me, When they're going to run back and forth in the Bible, so, oh, look at this, these things on the Bible. Oh, see that? That's false. Isn't that easy? That's the sucker's way for spiritual illiteracy as well as academic illiteracy. If you want to get into the academic faction, really get into it, you'll see that there's not much difference between the message there and the Old Testament or New Testament and the Eastern religions. You say you only believe in one God. That's got to be a joke. That's a translation in English. It doesn't mean one God like a Trinity or something like that. It just means that, in this respect to Jehovah, it means one God, because that's what it is. It's just one God. It is a God. Okay? So, the education and our transitioning here in the future has a lot of great benefit for everybody. Also, the area sciences will greatly be enhanced, and a lot of things won't be needed. Also, too, relativity in terms of the energy, where you have to burn something to get some energy out of it. It's as almost as if to say that light and matter are collapsing into each other more so in this upcoming years than they were before. The matter and light collapsing each other maybe has some parallels to this black hole thing with that. Maybe it does. Another thing is too, our universe is passing through a black hole, but that doesn't mean that this existing universe will still be here. And there's another one that's spiritual won't be. In fact, they're both there simultaneously. It's just that we're going through the black hole. The universe, the physical universe, doesn't move. We're going to move. It's kind of a mystery, but tune into it. You'll figure it out, and you'll get what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's it for tape 5.